I'm very pleased to be here today in Sarajevo at the information event on the 7th Research Framework Program, or shortly FP7. I'm also pleased to learn that the research strategy for the Western Balkan countries launched in Vienna in June 2006 together with the Austrian presidency, it's progressing well. 2.5 years ago, it was honestly beyond my expectations that today all Western Balkan countries would be associated to Framework Program 7. So I believe it is a real success. But the association to FP7, it's only a first step. Now we have to work on your full integration into European research area. Of course, the best way to integrate is to engage together in research cooperation. Doing research together will allow you to share knowledge and ideas, develop better and more innovative products, create new opportunities for accessing to markets, above all, help to improve the quality of life of your people. In doing research together, this region will become more competitive and build sustainable prosperity. How to picture this European research area? It is an area in which researchers, technology, knowledge can circulate freely. An area in which member states coordinate their efforts, pool national research programs to increase their leverage and impact. An area in which we are mapping and benchmarking together to measure the progress we are making together and individually. The ERA, as we call it shortly, is also an area in which incentives are created and barriers are removed, so that networks of scientists have access to world-class infrastructures, facilities. Such infrastructures should be used by the best scientists irrespective of nationality and regardless of where they come from in the world. Science should have no borders. So that structured partnerships are formed between academia and industry to meet the needs for new products, processes, services, as well as for skilled employees. And so that qualifications, experience, and social security rights of researchers will be portable across borders. In fact, alongside the freedom of movement for persons, scientists, goods, services, and capital, we are creating a kind of a new fifth freedom in Europe, the freedom of movement of knowledge. This obviously goes beyond the remit of research itself, but it requires research to be high on the political agenda so that other policies reinforce research policy objectives such as incentives for small and medium-sized enterprises through fiscal policy, education policy to promote science and technology in school curricula, government procurement policy to promote innovation, protection of intellectual property rights to allow for fair valorization of the research results, and so on. As an associated country to Framework Program 7, you now have the same opportunities, the same rights, the same obligations as any of the European Union member states. You can cooperate and compete on equal footing in all calls for proposals. You will be part of a network of scientists, industrialists, policymakers that are shaping the face of European research and innovation. You are entitled to intra-community fellowships under the People Programme and with the JRC, Joint Research Centre, and you have the possibility to nominate representatives to attend our program committees and other governing bodies which will help you to shape European research policy and to be informed early on about the upcoming work programs, to understand it better. I am fully aware that in order to complete your national research strategy, you need to find the resources to implement it. Investing more in research, also in the times of global economic and financial crisis, remains very important. Where we can, we will help at European level. In this context, I am very pleased that you put support for research capacity also by the pre-accession instrument, IPA, as a priority. The process of integration into the European Union is more or less about the reforms that your country needs to carry out in any case to become a modern society. reforms which will be facilitated if you increase your research capacity. In this context, I would like to highlight the special role of the Joint Research Center Special Program for Enlargement countries. Working together on research can lead to overcoming common challenges. And I know this region well enough to say that in many instances you have the same challenges. I'm thinking of improving, for example, the public health system, or meeting technical requirements in air and water quality, of contributing to our energy targets and energy efficiency. I could continue talking about why we need to do research and why more needs to be done. And rest assured, this is the case for all member states as well as for the potential candidate countries like yours. There is a lot to be done, and not everything can be achieved at once. It requires a collective effort, it requires consistency and also patience. It requires reconstruction of those capacities. Bosnia and Herzegovina was renowned far before the tragic outbreak of war in the region. I have every confidence in you and also every confidence in your intellectual potential. You can count on my help, on the support and also of those of my colleagues from the European Commission. But bear in mind that the ownership and responsibility for success is actually yours.